Hey guys, Tom Barton from TomBartonSports.com here. We have to talk about the rookie quarterbacks because I see everybody freaking out, and let's have a conversation about it. But remember, if you like this, please subscribe below. That always helps. Always share it. You guys can go check out TomBartonSports.com, at Tom Barton Sports on Twitter, or go listen to one of the podcasts. You can go check it out on the Believe Podcast Network under Tom Barton and go search Tom Barton over Believe in Betting and Believe in the Ivy League as well. All right, guys, look, the rookie quarterbacks, we understand. We understand rookie quarterbacks. We understand the frustration rookie quarterbacks are going to come to. Or do we? Look, I see everybody kind of freaking out this year about rookie quarterbacks. So I wanted to address this before the end of the year. We still have about 4 games left here. Look, at the end of the day, that's a quarter of the season. We still have a little bit of time. But even if they don't improve, I need everybody to calm down about their rookie quarterbacks. We know what we had this year, right? Within the first 15 picks, we had San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Jacksonville. All there was a lot of hope. There was 5 players taken: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones. Now, for this conversation, I'm going to say leave Mac Jones out of it because people are saying, okay, he's automatic rookie of the year. He looks great. Patriots are doing fantastic. And that's kind of what you guys want out of your rookie quarterback. But didn't Mac Jones land in the best situation? I mean, weren't we all going to be aware that Mac Jones was going to do that? Weren't we in a position where once he went to Bill and a stable organization, that's the key here. It's not only the coaching, it's a stable organization that also has a pretty good running game. Weren't we all pretty aware of what Mac Jones would be? You know, you look at Trey Lance, and what's Trey Lance doing right now? Oh, Trey Lance is sitting the bench. Well, so did Patrick Mahomes. I'm not comparing the two, but only for this equation that if you told a San Francisco fan, look, you guys are going to be fighting for the playoffs and Jimmy Garoppolo is going to look fantastic, which he has at times this year, and Trey Lance is going to sit down, you go, yeah, okay, that's kind of what I signed up for. So we're going to leave Mac Jones and Trey Lance out of this equation for this conversation. Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, and Trevor Lawrence. We'll start with Justin Fields, who has given the Bears fans a little bit of hope. Look, he hasn't played. He's been hurt. He's making stupid mistakes, but he's making, you know what? Rookie mistakes. But there are times where you see that explosiveness. There are times where you see that athleticism. There are times that you go, okay, he's working with a coach that's a lame dunk coach. He's working with an offensive line that is just a terrible offensive line. He's working with receivers where, look, Darrell Mooney's his number 1 receiver. And I like Mooney, but he's a 2 or 3 on some other teams. So I'm giving Justin Fields a little bit of a pass here. And you start to look at Justin Fields and you say, I see why people are excited about him. All right, that's all I want to see in year 1. Give me a glimpse. Give me a glimpse of what you are. We go on to Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's been very injured, and Zach Wilson looks terrible. Look, there are a lot of people that are going out there and just ripping apart Zach Wilson. It's a mistake. He was a bum. Okay, look, he's making a lot of mistakes, a lot of rookie mistakes. He looks terrible out there. But Jet fans, you have no running game. New York Jet fans, you have a terrible offensive line. You have a coach I'm not sure of, and you had one offensive weapon. And what happened to that offensive weapon? Well, you know what? He's out for the season. So I'm looking at even Zach Wilson. Injured guy, barely playing a couple of games. Look, he doesn't even have 10 games under his belt. He doesn't even have that, right? So how are we making a comparison that Zach Wilson's some kind of bust? Now, Zach Wilson didn't go to a good franchise. The Bears have bad problems all over the place, from Ryan Pace to obviously Matt Nagy, who's going to be gone. But the worst case is Trevor Lawrence, who all of a sudden has fallen out of favor with everybody. A generational talent, just can't seem to get it done. And make no mistake, Trevor Lawrence looks bad. He looks terrible out there. But what we know about this is that Urban Meyer has caused a complete chaos dumpster fire out there in Jacksonville. He's awful, right? Urban Meyer's terrible. The receivers are mad at him. He's benching James Robinson. How do you expect a rookie quarterback to grow in a situation like that? So you start to look at the culture around these guys. Now, all 5 of them are not going to go out there and all of a sudden, be stars. We knew one guy's going to probably be a bust, maybe 2. 1 or 2 guys will hang around the league, be starters and be okay. Think of Winston Mariota type. And then you usually get 1 superstar out of the group, or 1 star out of the group, and you hope to get 1 superstar. This was a draft with 5. And we all kind of thought that Mac Jones would be that consistent guy. I don't think anybody ever thinks that Mac Jones is going to be an MVP candidate, but he's going to be that consistent guy. And then you looked at the upside of the other guys. I think they all still have a chance for that upside, that absolute superstar upside. Look, Wilson and Jones have accounted for about 25% of the interceptions thrown in the league when they were both on the field. That's terrible. I mean, there's no sugarcoating that at all. Fields and Wilson, when you look at them, they're combined total more than 12% of the sacks in the league when they're both on the field. That's even worse, right? So you start going through the numbers that they're bad, they're ugly. But I think you have to have a conversation about NFL teams are now putting their quarterbacks in a position to play right now, and we expect immediate results. The quarterback that everybody looks to is Patrick Mahomes, who sat on a playoff team and watched. He sat on a playoff team and watched Alex Smith lead his team deep into the playoffs. That's who we are looking at. Justin Herbert burst onto the scene. Oh, man, he was fantastic, but he struggled late. And don't forget, whether it's bad coaching or not, Justin Herbert actually sat down for the first game, and he was going to be a guy that sits down and watches. That's what he was going to be, to Tyrod Taylor. So look around the league at the elite quarterbacks. Tom Brady, we don't have to say anything about him, right? Look around the league at the elite quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers sat. Tom Brady sat. Patrick Mahomes sat. Justin Herbert sat. They all sat down. So you start to think to yourself, okay, these guys got thrust into it. Well, they got thrust into it, and now all of a sudden I'm buying off of them. No, you don't have to. You really don't have to buy off. We could go deeper. Look, Troy Aikman in his rookie year, awful. He was 0-11 as a team. He had a 55.7 QBR. He threw 18 interceptions. Absolutely terrible. John Elway, look, it took him a little while till he became good. He wasn't even good in his first or his second year. He's 4-6 in his first year. He threw 14 interceptions to just 7 touchdowns. He was bad. Terry Bradshaw, let's go all the way back, right? Terry Bradshaw, 3-5 during his starts. He appeared in 13 total games, but he started 8. And he was maybe the worst of the bunch. 24 interceptions in his first year. He had a 38% completion percentage. That was a time where you had to complete the ball very often, and they didn't go very deep. So 24 interceptions is even more powerful. And then, of course, Peyton Manning, who we all think of because he went 3-13 as a starter. He was terrible. Got a lot of yards, right? They let him throw it all day long. 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. The best of the bunch are going to struggle. They are rookies for a reason. I am in no way off of the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon. I think Trevor Lawrence could be fantastic in this league. He needs a new head coach. I think we all know that Urban Meyer should go, but I think he could still be fantastic. Zach Wilson, you got to build a different culture around the Jets, but I think the explosiveness is there. Obviously, Mac Jones and Trey Lance, we know about Mac Jones. He looks great. Trey Lance, a guy that we don't know, but we knew we weren't going to know. And then you get into Justin Fields, who right now is starting to turn heads. He's only had a couple of games under his belt, but against Green Bay, you start to see some things. You start to see that. That's what we want from these guys. I see that in Mac Jones. I've seen it in the very brief time that Trey Lance has been out there. I have seen that in Zach Wilson on plays. Certainly seen that in Justin Fields. And yes, despite the ugly numbers and the ugly situation, I do see that in Trevor Lawrence, and I've seen that over a course of some games. Now, he's got to have some ugly games, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, like last week. Sure. But he's also going to show you plays, and you go, that's the guy that we drafted. That's the guy that can be something. I saw it with Peyton Manning. I saw it with Troy Aikman. I saw it with John Elway. And I'm seeing it with Trevor Lawrence. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to still become one of those because the culture around him is bad. But don't sell off of your quarterback in year 1. And don't even sell off of your quarterback in year 2. I expect year 1 to be a massive struggle. Year 2, show some improvement. It's year 3 that they take the leap. And in a lot of NFL circles, they say year 4 is actually the time. So when you draft a quarterback in the first round and you have a disaster of an organization, New York, Chicago, certainly Jacksonville, it's going to take time. You knew when you drafted him it was going to take time. You didn't expect immediate results, or you shouldn't have expected immediate results. So why are you freaking out now? Don't freak out. Let the rookies develop. Let them be what they will be. And I think they all still could have bright futures. I say at least 3 of them are consistent starters. You might get a superstar or 2 out of the bunch. And maybe that doesn't even include Mac Jones down the road. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. If you like this, please comment below. Please subscribe to my channel. Go check it out at TomBartonSports.com. You can also go listen to my podcast, Tom Barton. You can go check it out. Type in Tom Barton in any of the podcast networks, and it'll come up. Thank you very much. Have a very good day, everybody.